So from a historic state visit by Prime Minister Modi to the United States in June, and yet at the same time, these concerns and complaints from various US government and academic institutions about religious freedoms here in India, let's explore the whole gamut of Indo-US relations, and what a pertinent time and what a pertinent personality to discuss this with than Ro Khanna, who is a United States House of Representatives congressman representing the Democrat Party. He's now leading a congressional delegation here in India and will be watching the Prime Minister's Independence Day speech from the Red Fort. And I believe this will be the first time that a congressional delegation will be watching the Prime Minister's speech on Independence Day live at the venue. That's the Red Fort. So Congressman Ro Khanna is now joining me. Thank you very much, Congressman, for speaking with us. You're coming to India after a long time and for a very special occasion. You're in Mumbai. You'll be coming to Delhi. What are your thoughts at this juncture of the Indo-US ties? How would you see it?
Well, it's a wonderful feeling of pride, of such warmth, of hospitality. It is a historic delegation. We're so excited that we're going to be at the Red Fort with the Prime Minister celebrating India's independence. And for me, it has personal meaning, as my grandfather, as you know, was part of the freedom movement, in jail for many years. And to see that moment is wonderful.
I do want to talk to you about something which is a bit of a thorn in the relationship. While everything seems to be hunky-dory and everybody is praising the India-US relationship, it is the relationship for the future, no doubt. But there is the issue of minority rights and religious freedoms, etc. And you too had made a mention of it just a few days ago before leaving for this visit to India, where you said that this will be one of the issues you will take up in your meetings with your counterparts in the various meetings that you have here in India. Could you lay out the map for us? What is it that you're worried about? What is it that are your concerns? And how does that square up with the reality on the ground? Because the reality seems to be very different.
Well, he was in the United States, and it was a very successful partnership between the United States and India. There is an increasing cooperation on defense. That's why we're here in Mumbai with the Western Naval Command, on technology, on the economy. There is a cultural cooperation. We're excited. We're going to be meeting Amitabh Bachchan and met Anupam Kher, so the popular culture with Hollywood and Bollywood. And of course, ultimately, it has to be rooted in the values of democracy, openness of the press, pluralism, minority rights. But I am very, very bullish on the United States-India partnership. Well, I have always been clear that India and the United States relationship has to be grounded on pluralism. It has to be grounded on minority rights. We have to condemn violence against any religious institutions, and we will continue to speak out for those values.
I do want to talk to you about a decision taken recently by the Biden administration, and that is to ban Chinese tech imports coming into the United States. And the US and China have been going on this almost trade war-ish kind of situation when it comes to high-end electronics, when it comes to semiconductors. Could you explain the rationale behind that decision and what may be in it for India? Because India is hoping to be this plus one, the China plus one, when it comes to diversifying supply chains for companies around the world.
Well, we have to be prudent. I mean, we invented the semiconductor technology. We can't be giving the advanced design, the advanced tools to China that they could then use that technology to build their navy, to build their military. As it is, China has the leading amount of ships. And so those are prudent export controls to make sure our most sensitive technology doesn't get to China. But I'm very excited about the partnership between the United States and India's defense. We're doing joint military exercises at the Malabar. We are doing joint exercises with the Navy.
I also want to talk to you a little bit about, some of these protests that we are seeing by what we here in India call the Khalistani separatists or the Khalistani elements. We saw one in California, the state you come from, just outside the Indian consulate in San Francisco. These were violent protests. I want to know your thoughts on that.
Well, India is a sovereign country, and I recognize the sovereignty of India, and I will leave it at that.
I'm sorry I'm sort of pressing on that issue because India is viewing that issue as an attack on sovereignty, as a question mark on India's sovereignty. And I'm curious to know from you, as an elected representative in the U.S. House, what are your views on this kind of separatist ideology?
Well, there's no view, in my thing, for separatism. I mean, India is a sovereign country. It has been a sovereign country, and we have to recognize that sovereignty. And certainly the United States doesn't recognize any of the separatist movements.
All right, so you're going to be here in Delhi soon. You'll be there at the Red Fort listening to the Prime Minister on Independence Day. What else is your delegation going to be doing in your time here in India?
Well, we're meeting the head of the Western Naval Command. That's really important for the protection on the Arabian Sea, the joint exercises with the military. We're seeing people like Anand Mahindra, the leaders at Reliance. We're seeing leaders at the IIT. And, of course, the highlight, Amitabh Bachchan, who is an icon still around the world, and Anupam Kher, who we had the opportunity to meet yesterday and is helping so many actors.
All right, Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you very much. A pleasure, as always, speaking with you, and enjoy your time here in India. Thank you.